from the rugged outback of Australia to wielding the mighty hammer of Thor. Chris Hemsworth has become one of the biggest action stars in the world. But behind the godlike physique and blockbuster hits lies a journey of determination, talent, and pure hard work. From his early days on Australian TV to becoming a global superstar, this is the story of Chris Hemsworth. Christopher Hemsworth was born on August 11, 1983, in Melbourne, Australia, to Leonie, an English teacher, and Craig Hemsworth, a social services counsellor. He is the middle child of 3 brothers, with Luke being the eldest and Liam, the youngest, both of whom also pursued acting careers. Chris spent parts of his childhood in Melbourne and the Northern Territory's outback, where he grew up around cattle stations, crocodiles, and buffalo. These early experiences helped shape his adventurous spirit and resilience. He attended Heathmont College, and even from a young age, Chris showed a passion for acting and sports, laying the foundation for his future stardom. From the dusty cattle stations of the Australian outback to the glittering red carpets of Hollywood, Chris Hemsworth's journey is nothing short of legendary. Known worldwide as the God of Thunder, he's not just an action star. He's a symbol of determination, discipline, and charisma. From humble beginnings on Australian television to wielding Mjolnir in blockbuster Marvel films, Chris Hemsworth has captured the hearts of millions around the globe. But how did a small-town Aussie become one of the highest-paid actors in the world? Let's dive into the incredible story of Chris Hemsworth. Christopher Hemsworth was born on August 11, 1983, in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, to Leonie, an English teacher, and Craig Hemsworth, a social services counsellor. Chris is the middle child of 3 brothers, Luke the eldest and Liam the youngest, both of whom also followed careers in acting, making the Hemsworths one of Australia's most famous acting families. His maternal grandfather was a Dutch immigrant, and his maternal grandmother was of Irish descent, while on his father's side, he is of English, Scottish, and German ancestry. Chris's childhood was split between the bustling city of Melbourne and the remote cattle stations of Bulman in the Northern Territory. He often recalls running among crocodiles and buffalo, helping on the cattle stations, and experiencing a life that was vastly different from most kids in the city. These early adventures in the rugged outback instilled a sense of fearlessness, resilience, and adventure that would later define both his on-screen and off-screen persona. He attended Heathmont College during his school years and moved several times with his family, including a few years on Phillip Island. From a young age, Chris was drawn to sports and physical activities, developing an athleticism that would later become essential for his action roles. Simultaneously, he discovered a passion for acting, performing in school plays and local productions, unknowingly laying the foundation for a career that would take him from Australian TV to the world stage. Every superstar has a beginning, and for Chris Hemsworth, it started on Australian television. In 2004, he landed the role of Kim Hyde on the popular soap opera Home and Away. For millions of Australians, Chris became a familiar face, charming viewers with his charisma, good looks, and natural acting talent. But for him, it was more than just fame. It was a stepping stone into a much larger world. Playing Kim Hyde didn't just make Chris famous, it gave him a taste of life in the spotlight. Audiences loved his performance, and for the first time, Chris realized he could make a career out of acting. The exposure gave him confidence and courage to take bigger risks, including the bold decision to move from Australia to Hollywood, a place where the competition was fierce and the stakes were higher than ever. But the journey wasn't easy. Hollywood is a world of auditions, rejection, and constant competition. Chris faced long casting calls, tough auditions, and moments of self-doubt. Every role he went for tested not just his acting, but his perseverance. He had to learn quickly how to adapt to American sets, understand international production styles, and navigate a completely new industry. It was a test of patience, resilience, and determination, but Chris Hemsworth was ready to rise to the challenge. After years of hard work, dedication, and learning the ropes of the acting world, Chris Hemsworth was ready for his Hollywood breakthrough. And in 2011, the hammer would finally fall, literally. Chris Hemsworth's Hollywood journey was already underway with roles in films like Star Trek 2009 and A Perfect Getaway 2009. While these movies helped him get a foothold in the industry, it wasn't until 2011 that the world truly took notice. That was the year Chris Hemsworth donned the iconic cape, wielded the mighty hammer, and became the Norse god of thunder, Thor. Overnight, the Australian actor transformed from a promising talent to a global superstar. But becoming Thor wasn't just about acting, it required a total physical transformation. Chris underwent one of the most intense training regimes in Hollywood. Every day was a grind, heavy weightlifting, martial arts training, functional workouts, and strict dietary plans. He packed on massive muscle, sculpted his physique, and developed the strength to convincingly portray a god. It was a level of dedication few actors reach, and it set the standard for all his future action roles. Fantasy and adventure. Snow White and the Huntsman, 2012, and sequel. In the fantasy realm, Chris brought life to the heroic huntsman in Snow White and the Huntsman, 2012, and its sequel. With sword fights, daring rescues, and epic landscapes, Chris proved he could lead a film in a completely different genre, balancing action with emotional depth and romance. Comedy. Ghostbusters, 2016. Chris even dipped into comedy, appearing in Ghostbusters, 2016. While it was a departure from his usual action-packed roles, it showed his ability to play with humor and timing, blending into ensemble casts while still making his presence felt. Voice acting. Transformers 1, 2024. Chris also lent his voice to animation, voicing Optimus Prime in Transformers 1, 2024. Even without appearing on screen, he brought gravitas, heroism, and emotion to the legendary Autobot leader, proving his talents extend beyond live-action roles. Most recently, Chris received critical acclaim for his role in Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, 2024, earning an Actor Award nomination for Best Actor in a Supporting Role. Once again, he demonstrated his ability to take on challenging roles and deliver performances that resonate with audiences and critics alike. Fitness and lifestyle. But it's not just his talent that makes Chris Hemsworth a global icon. His dedication to fitness, discipline, and an adventurous lifestyle has made him a true inspiration for millions. Let's take a closer look at the man behind the roles. Behind the hammer, the blockbusters, and the global fame. Chris Hemsworth is not just a superhero on screen. He's a devoted husband, father, and an adventurer at heart. While millions know him as Thor, very few know the real man behind the fame. Marriage and family life. Chris Hemsworth found his soulmate in Spanish actress Elsa Pataky. The couple married in 2010 and share a beautiful family together, including 3 children. Despite his Hollywood fame, Chris prioritizes family life, often speaking about how his children and Elsa keep him grounded. From beach trips in Australia to quiet moments at home, Chris embraces the balance between stardom and being a present, loving father and husband. His family is not just a part of his life. They are his anchor in a world of flashing cameras and global fame. Hobbies, interests, and off-screen personality. Off-screen, Chris Hemsworth is as adventurous as his roles suggest. A lover of the outdoors, he enjoys surfing, hiking, and exploring nature whenever he gets the chance. His Australian roots remain a big part of his identity, and he often shares glimpses of his relaxed, humorous side on social media. Fans love seeing this playful, down-to-earth persona, which shows that even a global superstar can remain relatable, humble, and fun. Beyond family and fun, Chris is committed to giving back. He supports numerous charitable causes, including environmental initiatives, children's charities, and disaster relief efforts. Whether it's raising awareness, participating in campaigns, or lending his time and influence, Chris Hemsworth uses his global platform to make a positive impact, showing that true heroes are not just defined on screen, but also by the difference they make in the world. With a loving family, adventurous spirit, and a heart for giving back, Chris Hemsworth proves that his greatness isn't limited to the silver screen. And yet, his list of achievements and accolades in Hollywood continues to grow, cementing his status as a true global icon. From a small town, Aussie dreaming of stardom, to a Hollywood superstar wielding a hammer that shook the world, Chris Hemsworth's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. But what truly sets him apart isn't just his talent. It's the impact he has on fans, the industry, and the world. Chris Hemsworth isn't just loved on screen. He's admired by fans around the world for his dedication. He's not just a star, he's a global inspiration. And the world is watching, cheering, and waiting for what he'll conquer next.